Okay, I call the public hearing on the proposed local law number 2 of 2021, a law to update the town code with municipal code enforcement inspector on this day, February 9th, 2021. This is a Zoom conference call with YouTube live stream to the public. This is due to the COVID-19 emergency state and federal bans on large meetings or gatherings and pursuant to Governor Cuomo's executive order 202.1 issued on March 12, 2020, suspending the open meetings law. Okay, there's no pledge to the flag because we're all over the place. So we'll do a quorum call for attendance. Supervisor Oberly here, Councilwoman Cunningham.
Here.
Councilman Giuliano.
Here.
Councilman Dean Michael.
Here.
Councilman Witten.
Here.
Town Clerk Mackin.
Here.
The town has a quorum, so the meeting can begin. The town clerk will read the public hearing meeting notice, hearing notice rather.
Please take notice that the town of Clinton will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 via Zoom video conference, consistent with Executive Orders 202.1 and 202.15 as extended, addressing the COVID-19 virus at 6:25 p.m. prevailing time or as soon thereafter as the matter is reached on the agenda concerning proposed local law number X of 2021 entitled Amendment to Town Code, Municipal Code Enforcement Inspector pursuant to Article 16 of the New York Town Law. Please take further notice due to public health concerns, in-person attendance will not be permitted. However, the public will be fully able to observe and participate in the public hearing via computer, smartphone, tablet, or other electronic device. The public is invited to attend the hearing held via Zoom video conference and comment on the proposed local law. Members of the public who wish to comment will be able to do so by joining the meeting via Zoom, electronically, or by telephone. The passcodes will be published by noon on February 8th, 2021, which will enable the public to participate in the meeting. The codes can also be retrieved by emailing Town Clerk Carol Mackin at townclerk@townofclinton.com on February 8th, 2021 until 3 p.m. on February 9th, 2021. Comments for the public hearing can be submitted in advance of the public hearing by sending an email to townclerk@townofclinton.com by 3 p.m. on February 9th, 2021. This local law will take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. Complete copies of the proposed local law are available at the Town of Clinton Clerk's office and on the Town of Clinton website for inspection during regular business hours. At this time, all interested persons and citizens shall have the opportunity to be heard on the said proposal.
Thank you. I just want to make a comment so people understand what this is. This is strictly an administrative type zoning law, which redefines definition. Currently, the only definition to enforce the law is the zoning administrator. We have appointed the new person in that function with a title of Municipal Code Enforcement Inspector. So we had to put a change in the definitions to allow that to also be a condition of someone who can enforce the law, rather than going through and changing all the words and try to find them all over the place. We did it this way. So that's all it is. Now we open up for comments. Anybody have any comments? No. Fred, is anybody else popping into the meeting that you see, or that other than the faces I see on the screen?
No one's in the waiting room, just Jeff and Elliot, who are they're already in the meeting.
No,
I thought they would.
No, I just was looking for the last person sort of running up the steps to come into the meeting room. Okay, well, there being no further comments, I make a motion that close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call. Overly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Dean Michael,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. I make a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Roll call. Overly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Dean Michael,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. Public hearing is completed and done. We'll start as soon as you get a piece of paper off the copier with the regular board meeting.
Is this intermission? We should get our popcorn and soda.
I want to apologize. I didn't realize my mic was open earlier when I was trying to coordinate the child. And then I turned around. I'm like, oh, they all heard that. Okay.
It's all good.
Okay, start the next meeting. I call the regular town board meeting on February 9th, 2021 via teleconferencing using Zoom with a YouTube live stream to the public. This is due to the COVID-19 emergencies. I gotta change glasses. To the COVID-19 emergency state and federal bans on large meetings or gatherings, and pursuant to Governor Cuomo's Executive Order 202.1 issued on March 12, 2020, suspending the open meetings law. Members can view the meeting as it is live streamed on the town board video page on the Town of Clinton website. No public participation at this meeting. No pledge, no flag. Okay, to establish a quorum. Supervisor Oberly here, Councilman Giuliano,
Here.
Councilman Witten,
Here.
Councilman Michael,
Here.
Councilwoman Cunningham,
Yeah.
Town Clerk Mackin.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we can conduct the business. Approve minutes. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 12th, 2021 town board meeting. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. Okay, the next thing is supervisors' comments. I just want to remind the people that the town offices, highway department, justice, court office, and court will be closed for the president's holiday on Monday, 15th, February 15th. The Clinton Community Library will be open on the same day. The recycling center will be open as usual from 7:30 a.m. to noon on Saturday, February 13th. The COVID-19 vaccination situation is providing only 600 doses per week for the people who are allowed to receive them in Dutchess County. So we're really constrained. The allowed people to receive the vaccination is very large, so the demand to get appointments and vaccination is very frustrating. At this time, you'll need to make a return trip to the same center to get the second vaccination. It is expected that it will take into the summer for all who want a vaccination to obtain their vaccination. In all cases, you'll have to have a prior appointment to get a vaccination. There are 3 general places to get vaccinations: New York state-run centers, Dutchess County centers, and soon pharmacies. Each has a different way to obtain an appointment. To get a New York State appointment, you must phone their hotline, 1-833-697-4829, which is open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And their closest centers are either at SUNY Albany or the Westchester County Center. For the Dutchess County appointments, you must sign up at www.dutchessny.gov/COVID, COVID vaccine, VACCINE, to get alerts on your computer when the appointments are available and more information who is allowed to get a vaccination. When the alert comes on your computer, you must very quickly click on the button to get an appointment. Within a minute or sooner of the alert, all appointments are gone for the week. The county centers are located at the old J.C. Penney store in Galleria on Route 9 in Wappingers and at Dover, with a new location being set up. For pharmacy vaccinations at CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, they are still setting up how appointments and locations will be available. Contact your pharmacy's webpage for CVS and Walgreens at this time to get the details to get an appointment and at which location will vaccinations be available. So then that's all I have under supervisor's comments.
So Ray, how new is the information that you just read? Because the county just sent out at 4:30 an update where they're asking everybody to go to that email or that web address, which is dutchessny.gov/COVID vaccine. And they want you to fill out a new form, which is going to replace that notification that you just mentioned. But then also, if you don't have internet access, they want you to call 845-486-3555, and you can put your information in that way.
Okay, that information I did not see on the computer because I was writing what this was right
Yeah,
here.
it only came out at like 4:30 this afternoon. So
That's when I was writing this stuff, so it came out. So I'll update this to include that information so that people can see it on our minutes and webpage.
One other thing about the vaccines that we should mention, it applies to a smaller group of people, but if you are a member of the Veterans Administration, call the VA. That's, my parents couldn't get it through Dutchess County, but my father was able to get a vaccine through the VA almost immediately.
right.
He had to drive down to Castle Point, but he got it.
There was a complication on the VA one because I went to their website. I'm a veteran and all that. You have to have a family doctor in the VA system. If you don't have a family doctor in the VA system, you don't get it right now. Now, they may change it next month or something, but currently that's what the webpage says. You must be able to.
Okay.
So glad he made it.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay. Power line, quick statement on that. The town will approve an agreement with Transco on the repair of damaged roads when the equipment will need to cross the roads. Currently, they are starting construction at the northern end. Transco.
He's hitting the space bar and muting himself. Ray, you're muting yourself when you touch the space bar.
Hit the thing. Okay, I'll start at the beginning. The town will approve an agreement with Transco on the repair of damaged town roads when their equipment will need to cross the roads. Currently, they are starting construction at the northern end of the transmission line. Transco gave their presentation on December 3rd over Zoom to the community. Much more information on the project is available on their webpage, www.ny-yes.com. Actual construction in Clinton will begin in 2022 with the electrical transmission service beginning by December 2023. Additional Transco presentations will be scheduled in 2021 as more information becomes available.
Yeah, I ended up getting, I think, 3 or 4 emails. I don't know why they emailed me just alone, but the it must have been one of the labor unions that's going to be doing the work. And they were basically soliciting people within the labor union to email the local, towns to request that we approve that,
You mean the road agreement?
the road agreement. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna approve it. It's on the agenda.
Yeah, I know, but I got like 3 or 4 from different people that live throughout the county. Only one was actually from the town, but it was really initiated by the labor union.
Well, somehow I hit a button here.
We can all still see and hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
Yeah,
out
He
where to
probably,
go.
he probably minimized the Zoom window. Go look on the bottom, Ray, for
Yeah.
the Zoom icon and click it again and see if it pops it back up.
Okay, yeah, there we are. We're back. Okay. Okay. At this time, tax collector Kathy McMahon will describe the operation of her office with respect to the COVID and her relocation and the Dropbox. Kathy?
Good evening, everybody. Since town offices are closed to the public, I would like to take this opportunity to present options for paying your taxes remotely. You can pay by mail. Mail your payment to tax collector, Town of Clinton, 1215 Center Road, Rhinebeck, 12572. For 2021, payments must be postmarked by March 1st to avoid penalty. Include your entire bill to receive a receipt by mail. And please make your checks payable to tax collector, Town of Clinton. Your second option for making a payment is the online payment portal. Pay your taxes online using the online payment portal. You can access the portal from townofclinton.com, go to departments, then click on tax collector. The following fees do apply to online payments. You can use an e-check, which is an automatic withdrawal from your bank account, and that fee is $1.75. If you choose to use a debit card, the fee is $3.95. And for credit card payments, it's 2.45% of the total tax due. Our newest option for payment is the payment drop box. I asked the town to install a secure payment drop box, which is located on the front of the schoolhouse building at the town hall campus. Look for the green sign above the slot where you can drop your payments. Payments placed in the drop box come right into the building, so it's completely safe, and receipts are mailed the day I process your payment. The drop box is available 24/7 through March 1st. After that, please make your payments online or by mail, because at that time we'll be in the penalty period. The fourth option is paying in person, and that is by appointment only. If you choose to do this, please call 845-266-5721, extension 141, or email taxcollector@townofclinton.com to make an appointment. Appointments are limited, and it really needs to be that you absolutely have to make the payment by appointment. For the safety and health of everyone, please use the remote payment options whenever possible. And please remember, payments made in person must be by check or cash for exact amount only. And just to go over the penalties, payments must be received or postmarked by March 1st, 2021 to avoid penalties. Payments made March 2nd through March 31st will incur a 2% penalty. Payments made April 1st through April 30th will incur a 3% penalty. And payments made May 1st through June 1st will incur a 4% penalty plus a $2 rebilling fee. Any payments after June 1st must be made to the Dutchess County Commissioner of Finance. I cannot accept payments after June 1st. Please call 845-486-2025 to make arrangements to pay the Commissioner of Finance. I'd also like to mention that I receive a lot of return mail, so please try to keep your mailing address up to date with us. If you have a mailing address change, you can contact the town assessor by mail at 1215 Center Road, Rhinebeck 12572, or email the assessor at townofclinton.com. And also, just so you know, I have moved my office. I'm now in the schoolhouse building. And that's all I have.
I just want to make a comment that we'll post this information on the webpage, just so you didn't have to write it all down.
It's already there, Ray.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay.
there. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay, next item then is old business of agricultural events law. Dean? Take it away. Dean, you there?
We lost him.
He seems frozen.
Frozen. Yeah.
Where did he go? Oh, he's over there.
Give him a minute.
Yeah.
Give him a minute.
You can't lose him now. That's so long to get here.
He left so he could rejoin.
I wonder how long he was frozen before we noticed.
Could have been a while.
He's not even on anything.
I'll text him.
Did you get him?
I texted him. He didn't get back to me yet.
Oh. Electronics is great as long as it's working. Fred, is Dean linked up to us at all?
No, he's not in the waiting room.
Okay. So he lost the total connection.
Yep.
We can skip that one and come back when he returns. We won't be voting on
Does
the
somebody else want to take it? I mean, you've all been involved in,
I mean, I can read it. That's not a problem. I just wanted him the opportunity. Okay, just to keep the agenda moving, I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves the resolution number 11 of 2021, adopting local law number 1 of 2021, entitled Agricultural Events Law, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part of this resolution, and that the town clerk be directed to enter this local law in the minutes of the meeting and give due notice of the adoption to the Secretary of the State of New York. Is there a second?
Giuliano second.
Any further discussion? I think it's been pretty much talked all
I just want to be confirmed. It was resolution number 13 and you said 11.
Oh, 13.
Just want to clarify.
Okay, that's it. Okay, roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael, absent. Witten,
Aye.
Motion carried. Next one. This is the motion that I talked about earlier, where we're just changing a definition to include the municipal code enforcement inspector as one of the enforcers of the zoning law. I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves resolution number 14 of 2021, adopting local law number 2 of 2021, entitled Amendment to Town Code, Municipal Code Enforcement Inspector, a copy of which is attached hereto and made a part of this resolution, and that the town clerk be directed to enter this local law in the minutes of this meeting and give due notice of the adoption to the Secretary of State. Is there a second?
Giuliano second.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael, absent. Witten,
Aye.
motion carried.
I just want to say, nothing to do with this. Dean sent me a text. Somehow his computer got shut down. Can't shut down on him. So he's trying to relog back in. So he hopefully will be back here shortly.
Okay. The next one is sort of a repeat of an earlier resolution we made with some wordsmithing required by the assessor. So we're rescinding the earlier one and adopting the newer one. I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves resolution number 15 of 2021 to extend the 2021 assessment roll, the renewal of exemptions received in 2020 for eligible persons age 65 and older and eligible persons with disabilities and limited income, dispensing with the need for renewal application from such qualified persons and rescinding town board resolution number 57 of 2020. Is there a second?
Giuliano second.
Further discussion? Okay, roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael, absent. Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. Okay, the next one is the fund balance policy. Witten, be my guest.
So the fund balance policy was something we were discussing before COVID. And then COVID paused everything. I have changed, I don't know how many months it's been, but I haven't changed anything in it.
Sort of a year.
Yeah, it's almost a year now, but nothing has changed in the policy with Shane. So I just wanted to reintroduce it so that we can finally get a vote on it maybe next month. So I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves resolution number 16 of 2021, introducing proposed local law number of 2021 titled Fund Balance Policy, and setting a public hearing on March 9th, 2021 at 6:25 p.m. via Zoom, at which time the public can be heard concerning the proposed local law.
Is there a second?
Giuliano second.
Okay, discussion. I have a discussion, as you probably expect. I went through and, whoops, I got the wrong one. These pages all look alike. No, I just have it. Well, there's the two issues are the same two issues I discussed previously when we were talking about it. One issue is it says, and this being a policy, which says you can't waver from it, any amount above the threshold that you've incorporated into the law must be put basically in capital projects. This will not allow us to balance the taxes and help the public.
It says any surplus funds that exceed 45% of adopted budget appropriations The excess may be utilized for any lawful purpose approved by the town board. And then there's a guidance that says it should not be appropriated. It should be appropriated to fund one-time expenditures, so which do not result in recurring operating costs.
Yeah, no, that I know.
That's D4.
I was reading in the D4, in order to minimize long-term effect of such use, the excess should be appropriated to fund one-time expenditures which do not result in recurring operating costs and or be used to establish or increase reserves. That's the thing that I was saying. It says that we got to put it into.
Well, it says that it can be used for things that are one-time costs, or it can be used to establish or increase reserves.
Reserves.
It doesn't say it
Reserves are not
must.
operating funds.
I know, but it doesn't say you must use it in reserves. It's an and or.
Yeah. Well, either case, it's to fund one-time expenditures do not result in recurring operating costs.
Yeah, so like we shouldn't use the fund balance to give somebody a pay increase because that would be recurring. Like it would be, you know, if we had a project like solar panels, we could use it for that.
Yeah,
Or
I understand that, but my concern is we will not be able to necessarily always stay under the tax cap if we abide by this, because this is a policy and it's not readily changed unless we go through a process to change those numbers. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's a pretty high ceiling at 45%. I mean, if you think it
I
should
don't
be
know
higher.
I know what the number is. I don't know mathematically how it all comes out. So that's,
Well, didn't we said, I mean, it's been a long time since we've talked about this, but we
Yeah.
came up with numbers and this all fell within the numbers that we were
Yeah.
working with the
yeah,
budget back then, but I mean,
it's somewhat complicated because you got to take out all the fringe benefits.
Yeah.
You got to find them all over the place, and there are a big variety of them, which reduces the amount of money that you will have in the surplus fund, because you're taking away not revenues, but expenses that you typically would have included in it. So, I mean, that's my thought on it. I think it's going to make it difficult to hold the taxes under the 2% number, whatever that is, whenever it is, each year it changes. And it's a complicated process to count the monies. So I just think it's confusing in that respect.
Well, explain why that would affect the tax cap. Sorry, I'm just late joining the party here, but
Well, traditionally, in all prior years, we have taken unexpended balance monies and utilized them into the operating budgets of general and highway funds. You can't do that now.
so you're saying that we would have to raise the
You'd have to
tax
increase
to
taxes to
accommodate
balance the budget.
categories.
But wouldn't that be, if we did that, say, put them, I'm trying to find the wording now. I mean, wouldn't that be appropriating the funds for one-time expenditures?
No. One-time expenditures is like paying money to plant a tree, for example.
Oh,
You do it once. Operating expenses are insurance, heat, electricity, whatever.
so if D4 said in the event, where is it? The excess may be utilized for any lawful purpose approved by the town board.
And that's what we do when we do the.
So if we cut off D4 at that sentence and did not have the thing about one-time expenditures or to increase or establish reserves,
Right.
you'd be
I'm
fine.
happy.
All right. So what if we did say that? I mean, I think that sentence was there just as like a guidance. But
But
if we take out the one-time expenditures, but like if I have something that says it can be used to establish or increase reserves, just So someone reading it later understands that that's something that can happen. It doesn't say it must.
Well, okay. Yeah. What was your wording now?
Well, in order to minimize the excess where, so I could say in order to minimize the long-term effect of such use, these funds can be used, excess funds can be used to establish or increase reserves. You know, and that's after the sentence that says any lawful purpose approved by the town board. So we would just take out the one-time expenditures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go on that.
I would say in the future, though, I would not really want to use fund balance to pay for ongoing expenses. But I understand your point. I understand your point.
We approve the budget, so we are
Yes,
deciding what to do. And if we don't want to put the money in the budget, we don't put it in the budget.
Yeah, I think the spirit behind that sentence was that, you know, if we were gonna, well, say we have Granicus coming up now, we shouldn't be saying Granicus is gonna be $5,000 a year. I know we're not paying for it. I'm just using the example.
Yeah, sure.
5,000 a year, we shouldn't be saying the fund balance is gonna pay for that, you know? But I understand your point, and so I'll change it and for next month's vote.
Okay. I'm happy with that then.
Okay.
It's, you know, I just didn't want to get us into a box where
Yeah.
We can't just, we got to resubmit it here to vote on it then at that point?
No, we can schedule the public hearing, which is what this motion
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And I'll have a new version for Carol in a week or so that can be on the web.
The public hearing version, that's all.
Yeah.
No big deal.
All right.
We'll make that one available after I receive it.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
Now, let me go and find it. Oh, here we are. Okay, so everybody else happy? No questions? Roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we do the Granicus.
So with the short-term rental law passing, the county has, they used to call it Host Compliance. Host Compliance is now a company called Granicus, and they provide software so that municipalities can basically enforce their short-term rental laws. It identifies properties for them, and then in conjunction with whatever software the town uses to track whether properties are permitted correctly or not, the software will constantly check your software against their data to see if all of the properties in your town are properly permitted. So the county collects, what do they call it? The occupancy tax on Airbnb. And the occupancy tax is not shared with the towns, and some towns didn't like that. So the county has said, well, they'll provide Granicus for free to the towns. They'll pay for it to help us enforce these laws. And it's not a small fee. It's about $5,000. So we had the contract. John Fenton worked with the county, and we got a contract from Granicus. I've been trying to work with the Department of Finance to get a memorandum of agreement to pay for Granicus, but we haven't gotten it as of today. They promised me this week. So I'm going to make the motion to approve signing the contract with the stipulation that we receive an MOA from Dutchess County for payment. So I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves the contract labeled Q-107858 between Granicus and the town of Clinton for short-term rental compliance monitoring as detailed in the contract for a period of 1 year commencing on February 9th, 2021 at an annual cost of $4,464 paid for by Dutchess County, and authorizes, empowers, and directs the supervisor to sign the contract with the stipulation that we receive an MOA from Dutchess County for payment.
Giuliano second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, I'm busy. I got a lot in a row here. The next one is different. We had some emails on this. And now the situation on the ground has changed a little bit. I noticed a while back and mentioned to you guys that the scroller on channel 22 doesn't have the most up-to-date information all the time. And we were trying to figure out ways to alleviate that problem so we could have the up-to-date information. And it turns out now that the software or the hardware that we use, to change the scroller is no longer supported by the company that made it. And so Jerry is now working to solve that problem and figuring out how he can update the scroller and work around this problem that it's not supported anymore. Jerry has said that once that does happen, he is willing to train Samantha, who has already been working on video things with him. He's going to train Samantha on how to make the scroller changes. And conveniently, since Samantha also works with Carol Mackin and Ray Oberly, they will be able to provide her with up-to-date information that should be on the scroller, and then she can make the changes. So we don't really have anything to vote on tonight. I just wanted to, I knew we had emails about it, so I just want to say that that's what we're going to be doing moving forward. Jerry's on board, and Samantha's on board, and Ray and Carol. So I think that's it with that, if there are any questions.
Okay, thanks a lot. Next is a planning board vacancy. Dean?
So we have someone that's been on the planning board for many, many years, for as long as I know. She's basically come to the point where she wants to do other things with her Tuesday nights, and I don't blame her. After it has to be at least 15 plus years. So thank you to Teresa for having dedicated so much time to doing that. But with that, I'd like to open up that there's a vacancy on the planning board, and that if someone is interested, they should send in their resume to the supervisor. And then as a point of, and I mixed up my papers here, so I'm trying to find exactly the motion here, but I had looked up on the calendar, Wednesday the 24th, it didn't have anything scheduled. And I think we should do that in person. I think we could do it socially distancing, and I would prefer to do it that way if nobody has an objection to that. What's everybody else's thoughts on that?
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, the only thing I would comment is we should say like the evening of Wednesday or something, just so there's
Right.
a general time. I'm not saying 7:30 or whatever, but it's not during the middle of the morning.
It'll be after 5 on Wednesday the 24th.
Just some way of defining it.
Sure.
that people would be able to attend. That's all. Okay.
So with that, I'll make a motion, be it resolved that the town board holds a special meeting, executive session live in the town hall on Wednesday, the 24th of 2021, for the approval, for the purpose of an interview of candidates for the appointment to the planning board.
Is there a second?
Giuliano, second.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried.
So just to clarify, I said Teresa, that she used to be on the planning board. It's Tracy Rizika. So thank you to Tracy for her long dedication to the town.
Okay, thank you. Next is Transco use and crossing agreement. I briefly spoke to that earlier. We've been working for the last 2 months with Transco, trying to get our town properly indemnified so that if any damages occur, that Transco will fix them at not town expense, but at their expense. And a lot of legalese going back and forth and wordsmithing. So we finally got a final document. I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves the road use and crossing agreement between Transco and the town of Clinton effective February 9th, 2021, and authorizes, empowers, and directs the supervisor to sign the contract. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. Somehow we missed doing it earlier. Approve of the dog control services with SPCA for 2021. So this is to just approve the contract that we had last year. I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves dog control services agreement with Dutchess County SPCA from January 1st, 2021 to December 31, 2021, and that the town supervisor hereby is authorized, empowered, and directed to execute the contract. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Further discussion? Roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
motion carried. Okay. This is to approve the dog control housing agreement with the SPCA. They're two different documents. This essentially has a fee schedule that if you lose your dog and they catch them, you got to pay so much per day and all that sort of stuff. I make a motion to approve the following resolution. Be it resolved that the town board approves dog control housing agreement with Dutchess County SPCA from January 1st, 2021 to December 31, 2021, and that the town supervisor is hereby authorized, empowered, and directed to execute the contract. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Okay, roll call. Oberly, aye. Cunningham,
Aye.
Giuliano,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Witten.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
And just to clarify a point, just so it's not confusing, is if they catch the dog, they will make an effort to call the owner. So if you have proper tags on it, it's not like they're going to house them and you're going to have to pay the fee for housing. You know, they'll try to contact you.
Yeah, which is admirable. Okay, next thing we go into resignation. I make a motion to accept the resignation of Jacob Bancroft as student worker effective February 7th, 2021. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Yeah, he was helping to run the TV station, but he's going off to college, so he won't be around. And we'll see when he comes back, we can rehire him and continue to use his services. So it's just the easy way to handle it. Roll call. Oberly, aye. Giuliano,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Cunningham,
Aye.
motion carried. Approval of warrants. Dean,
I make a motion be resolved, the town board approves the February 9th, 2021 general fund warrant. Vouchers number 34 through 72 totaling $42,894.97. And the February 12th, is that correct? 2021 highway fund warrant vouchers number 19 through 38 totaling $61,742.33.
okay, is there a second?
Giuliano second. But what was the number on the total for the second one for the highway? Did you read there?
61,742.33.
Huh. I have 61,714.83 on mine.
It may have been updated by the end of the day, Chris.
Okay.
And
I just
We'll double check, yeah.
was the 12th date correct, Carol? Because
No,
yeah,
no,
the form has 12 on it, so I just, so it
with the
is-
February highway warrant, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Giuliano,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Cunningham. Cunningham?
Aye.
Oh, okay, motion carried. We're not doing any move of funds this month. So that was easy. The supervisor's report, I sent it out to you last night. The January 2021 supervisors report will be approved when the 2020 books are reconciled, which will be around April, May. That's when the AUD is being submitted to Albany. Any other business before the board?
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned by the email you sent out today. I think that we should have an executive session to discuss that.
I agree. I'll go with that, Dean.
So before we go into executive session, I agree with that too. Can I just say that I'd like to think about moving forward with the next meetings to have public comments. We obviously have 4 members of the public here tonight, and nobody's acted like a hooligan and chimed in and tried to hijack the meeting. So I think from here forward, we can start having public comment at our meetings.
I agree with that, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I'd again like to move towards having live
In person.
meetings in person, because hardly anybody shows up to our meetings anyway. So if someone does have something to say, we can accommodate, a number of people in the audience.
18 people is the number.
And that
Yeah.
includes all of us, right?
No.
No? Okay.
No, we're separate,
There's 18 X's on the floor.
Yeah.
right?
So
Out the audience, it's not on the dais and right in front of it. So it's 18 extra people, not including us.
Okay.
So,
but one way or the other, I would go with what either Michael says, or if we can do it in person, I'd prefer to just do it in person.
we have to check as to what the status of the activity with Jerry is up there, trying to cobble the system back together again. That's the only question I have.
Okay.
If it works, we can do it. If he's comfortable and he can make it work, good. Primarily, the problem is with the scroller, but I don't know the interaction of some of these electronic boxes up there anymore.
Is there something that we have to look to about updating at some point, right?
Yes, it's $10,000 for next year's budget.
Okay. All right, well,
Roughly.
just, yeah.
I mean, that's the number I've been given.
I have a feeling I'm in the minority, but I should just make my voice heard that I think these work fine, and until we absolutely have to meet in person, I'm fine continuing to do these. But I'm sure I'm in the minority on that.
I mean, there is benefit. Look, Mike, I do agree there's benefit that kind of gives us a little bit of leeway being with Zoom. My only concern, at least as long as we can get public hearing going either way, I'm fine either way with that. But I definitely think at least people should have be able to kind of get back into involved regardless
well,
of
part of my and I forgot to bring it up, but part of my my thought process is that we should start back doing our zoning revision. I mean, it's been a year and everything's getting cold, and we're going to start forgetting where we were. And it's been 15 years since this thing started. I'd like to have it done.
What about I think at some point you made a comment or the ability to approve certain sections of it that's already been through, so we can get it to public.
Well, one of the options was to take, as we go along, get it approved instead of having this large financial burden on the town.
All at once.
It's going to be the attorneys reviewing and updating the code and everything else. If we wait to the end and do it all as one, I mean, it's probably going to be a hefty $30,000-$40,000 bill. I mean, if we can bite off as we're going, it's going to be financially more capable of handling in our regular budget.
Yeah. The only problem I see is that we've been allowing people to comment after we've gone through a session. So we haven't incorporated their comments, whether they're good or bad. I'm not making any judgment
When people
into
make
the
comments,
discussion we had. So
we've updated sections after people have commented.
I know we did some, but I don't know how many.
All of them that I know of. I mean, I don't know. I have to review what our last session was, but for the most part, we've been updating everything as we've gone along. And if there was something that was missed, someone could, bring up an objection to something, and we've addressed it the next meeting.
As I say, I just don't recall all the specifics, because you were handling all the incoming stuff and
Yeah, that's fine.
I just don't know what.
I thought we were all up to
The
date
other
as
session.
far as, anybody who has brought up, questions on something and even after the fact, typically we allow the week after the meeting for someone to send in comment so that I can have the time of the last week, because we're going every other week to have these Thursday night meetings. But then I would have the time to put together the changes so that everybody can review it for the next meeting.
I agree with, we can do them in person because typically, as you said, it's less than a handful of people that typically would come.
3 or 4 people, unless it's a hot topic.
And it's hard to tell what's a hot topic, so. But in general, they've been very minimal. So those can be, again, and they would be broadcast live through the TV channel.
Yep.
Not on Zoom or on YouTube. Well, I don't know if we could do YouTube too, in addition to,
Well, I think
They're not live, Ray. They're not live on YouTube, but they're posted to YouTube in
okay,
a day or 2.
okay, so,
yeah, this recording is then digitized and then uploaded to YouTube. And I think Jerry is somewhat digitizing the broadcast and then setting it up for rebroadcast anyway. And then he was setting it up for our Facebook or our YouTube channel.
YouTube.
So that's where,
I just want to be sure that the problem that we're involved with in the
I think the scrollers are different.
scroller electronics doesn't interfere with the upgrading to YouTube or transmission. That's my only concern. I have no objection to doing it. It's just that we can do it successfully. That's all I'm concerned about. So, I mean, if you want, I'll ask him and see what he says.
Yep.
And send an email, and away we go. And do it live.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of topics that we've been handling that really need to be updated. So,
Yeah.
and as to whether we want to take bits and pieces, as we've done probably about half of it now, if we want to have the attorney start working on it. I mean, ultimately, there's a coordination because a lot of those things affect the definitions. So changing a code without changing the definition is problematic. But we could start the process, and then by the time we may finish the first section, we may have the second section done and updated the definitions so that we could coordinate the definition section at the same time.
Now, you know that general code will review all of that stuff for free and give you comments back. They won't change it, but they'll give you their suggestions as to best practice. Maybe it's wordsmithing, maybe it's a technical point, I don't know. But it will give you a different view or eye of it in concert with the rest of the book, because they have it all in their computer. And they do
So
that.
maybe what I'll do first is I'll send them the sections that we've already made changes to, have them annotate it or document whatever changes they think before I send it to Shane,
Oh, yeah.
so that we could save on the legal fees.
Yeah, and maybe get a better document. I'm not saying what we did was not good, but get a better one.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll go forward on that. I'll talk to Jerry and send an email, and then we'll post the start of those again.
So since I missed it, was there a party for the approval of the ag law?
No,
I mean, my computer decided to turn off in the middle of everything. I don't. Maybe it was giving me a warning sign or something.
oh, you
I mean,
didn't-
Jeff was firing his gun in the air and
I know,
dancing.
it was like,
Been a long process. Congratulations.
Okay, so ready to adjourn?
we're going to go to executive session.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't on my schedule, that's why I lost track of it. I'm not prepared to provide any information, as I told Giuliano previously. This is from Albany, and
Hold on, we're not on an executive session yet.
No, I'm just saying from Albany, and I'm not going to provide anything.
Well, I think we would want to know why.
I'll check with Albany if they want it to be dispersed. So I'm working under their guidance.
I mean, they specifically said, don't tell your board members.
Hold on, are we going to go in executive meeting, to talk about
Yeah,
this? or-
I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss
Giuliano second that.
When are we doing it?
right now.
Oh, okay. I just trying to, we didn't say when, that's
I know
why.
I didn't get it out of my mouth yet, but
Oh.
What is your purpose?
to discuss
Personnel
a
issues.
personnel issue that Mr. Oberly has alerted the board to.
Thanks.
Okay, just a second.
I have a motion and a second. Do you have a roll call, please, Ray?
Wait, I'm waiting for a second.
You
I
have a
seconded
second.
it.
Oh,
Giuliano has a second.
Roll call vote, Oberly, aye, Giuliano,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Michael.
Aye.
Cunningham. Motion carried. Now we'll go into executive session. I make a motion to return to regular order of business. Is there a second? I
Dean
put
Michael,
Dean
second.
down. Now we do roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Giuliano,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Okay, now we adjourn the whole thing. I make a motion that the town board adjourns the meeting. Is there a second?
Dean Michael, second.
Michael. Okay, roll call vote. Oberly, aye. Giuliano,
Aye.
Witten,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Nancy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned at whatever time it is, 7:57.